Hey, it's Gary with Natural Instinct Dog Training, and I want to talk to everybody about teaching our dogs how to paddleboard. First, let's make sure they like the water. Steve, not the biggest fan of the water, and Buddy, well, he loves the water, but he's a little bit clumsy. So Rudy was the perfect candidate. Now, the one thing is you got to make sure your paddleboard's going to be big enough for both of you, depending on the size of your dog, and also making sure that the weight capacity of your board can handle you and your dog. Too much dog, too much person on the paddleboard, it's going to get really squirrely when you get out there and try to do it. The first phase of this is actually teaching the place or the stay command on the paddleboard. Put it on the ground, you can take the fins off if you need to, and make sure you have a good solid place and stay command. The next phase, make sure your dog knows how to swim. I don't know if Rudy's ever seen the water. He's a rescue. So get out there, see how they like the water, and make sure that they are comfortable swimming in the water in case they actually do fall off the paddleboard. Then our next phase is going to be teaching them how to balance on this paddleboard in the water. It's going to feel a lot different than it did on the ground. This is something you want to take your time with. Get them used to getting on the paddleboard, getting off the paddleboard, sitting, staying, laying down. You can use your place command. And it's also a good idea that you got a working leave it command in case they see a duck or people walking by, anything like that. Get them used to being on the board, being off the board, wiggle the board around. Do all of this in shallow water so you have good solid footing while you're teaching them. This isn't something we're trying to rush to see how quickly we can do it. You just want to work on their balance. Start getting on the paddleboard, even if it's just with one leg, even both of your knees. Just move around a little. I want you to start feeling stable and the dog to start feeling stable. Now, the first time that you get ready to get actually on the paddleboard and start paddling, take your time, make sure you get them set in a good place, the balance feels right on the board, and don't plan on going too far away. Stay close to the shore, stay in the shallow water, so if you need to hop off real quick, if they decide to hop off, it's not going to be a big deal. You're close to the shore and so on. Always keep a leash, harness, life vest, some point of attachment to your dog. And you also want to make sure that you've got a good point of attachment to your paddleboard. In the beginning here, you're not going to be going too far off the shore, but keeping a leash on your dog is going to be really important because they hop in the water, they swim, you're that close to shore, you don't want them getting loose and anything like that happening. Then start lightly paddling around. Stay on your knees. There's no rush to see how fast you can stand up. In the beginning, this is all about teaching them how to balance on the board, how to stay in one place on the board. You can practice a little with them shuffling around, but you want to make sure that you and they have good balance on the board. As you start getting better, feeling more comfortable, you can get ready to move into the next phase, which is actually standing up on the board. Now, we did this over a couple of days. We took the first day, really my main concern was just making sure that he felt stable on the board and I felt stable on the board. When we came back out the second day, we brought out our tether leash that actually attaches around my waist, has a bungee on it and clips to him, so it'd make it easier for me to stand up on the board and move around if I needed to. And then I also even hooked up my ankle leash just in case he fell off the board, anything like that, to where I'm attached to Rudy, I'm attached to the paddleboard, and we can all stay together. Then paddle. Don't plan on going too far. Just get out there a little bit, paddle around. When you feel comfortable, go ahead and stand up. Know that you can always get right back down to your knees when you need to get your balance back. Don't go too far off the shore and try to find places that aren't too busy when you're just first learning how to get out there and do this. You don't want a bunch of boats and jet skis and things like that around. A nice calm day out on the water is going to be the best time to practice. We went out in the middle of the day here in downtown Orlando on Lake Viola, and it was a perfect time to practice. And Rudy absolutely loved it. It took him a little bit to learn his balance, but once he got his balance, he was really comfortable on the board. And it took me a little bit to get comfortable with him when he decided to move around. Now, when you're coming in to dock, you're coming in to park your paddleboard, make sure, get down on your knees, be stable on the board, because what's most important, you don't want them to just jump off the board. It's going to pull you off balance. It's going to pull the board out from underneath you. Now, as I progressed with Rudy, I realized that even though he liked the water and he liked swimming, he wasn't really comfortable at where he was in the water. He was having trouble kind of keeping his nose up out of the water. So we went ahead and got the Easy Dog life vest. Great life vest. I love the quality and how they're made. And it made him a lot more comfortable in the water swimming. And that made me a lot more comfortable as we were paddling. He has really learned to love this. It's something that we're doing as we adventure around and go to different places. We've been out on Lake Lanier and some little lake off of Skull Island. And it's just been so much fun. He absolutely loves it. I'm probably going to see how Buddy's gonna do. We'll see. It'll probably be a really funny video of him falling off the paddleboard as many times as possible. But more than anything, get out there, have some fun with your dogs, do some new and different things, because the more we can do with their dogs, the happier they are and the happier we are. Look forward to the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.